Hey, this is Yasuki Wolf, and welcome back to the Manga Workshop series. I spent 3 million yen studying manga in Japan so that you don't have to. I apologize profusely for taking so very long to get this video up. If you've been watching my Japan Quest series, you probably know that I've been very busy trying to get my visa set up and trying to get a job and figure out how my living and things in Japan. And I eventually did get a job as a game designer in a mobile company here in Tokyo. And you may or may not know that I just recently released my first full-fledged game, the game that I designed, Archetype, which I'll put a description down below on, and that it will be coming to America hopefully in August. But that's basically the reason why I've been very busy. Spent 2.5 years in that company working and looking for work and so forth. So a lot of stuff happened, but. My New Year's resolution for 2015 was to get back to doing videos and to do them on a regular and consistent basis. So that's what we're going to do, and we're getting the Manga Workshop series launched again. I no longer work, well, I didn't really work before, but I work as a game designer, and I no longer am doing manga primarily. I have reasons why I switched over to gaming instead of manga in another video, which you can look up in my channel description if you like. But basically, I still did study manga in a manga school for about 2 years, and I took manga that I drew to major publishers like Jump, Young Jump Magazine, Gangan Joker, I think Ultra Jump, I think, or something. Another one. I know I went to a whole bunch of magazines. So I've talked to people within the industry. I've met with editors. I've spent time in school and in classes, so I have a fairly good idea what they're looking for manga artists in Japan. So people who are interested in that, you could tune in and kind of hear my insights into that, or if you just kind of want to get an idea of the kind of techniques and things that they use in Japan and try to use that in your own country, that's another good use for these videos, hopefully. So for today, first off, we're just going to go into the syllabus for the relaunch of the Manga Workshop series. Okay, so this is our syllabus, aka my unfinished homework. So, basically what I'm thinking to do for the current syllabus of our manga workshop is I have this big stack of like work that I kind of have left over, like halfway done from when I was in school, and I kind of organized this by topic, so that we'll go by one sheet at a time, and this will kind of cover the different aspects of doing manga and things that I learned while I was in school. So first off, this is like it's a hidden fortress sketch that I had to do for a class. I started it and never finished it. I think this might be just like a warm up, so this will probably the next episode will just be sort of a warm up thing to kind of get back into gear, since I haven't actually used a lot of these tools for a good while, and then I could go through some of the basics of how to use the specific tools, and like how to use ink and so forth, and that'll be sort of like a brush-up course, a brush-up class, I suppose. Then our next lesson will be going into kouka, and I'm gonna mostly be using Japanese terms. I'm sure there's English versions of these words, but unfortunately, since I didn't study in America, I pretty much only know the Japanese ones. If you guys know the English ones, you can put them in the comments to let other people know. But I'll try to put like a word index. I actually have this from my school, where we have all the different words that are used in manga in Japan. So I'll probably put some key, I won't put all of this, but I'll put some key words here into the description of the video, and you can see that down below in this video even. I'll put, there's words like ekonte, or omosen, or kirihari, koma wari, shiage. I don't know. I'll put the descriptions of what these mean in the box below. But okay, so moving on. After the warm-up, we will go into kouka, and kouka are basically just those action lines that you see like around characters and different and just this is your first word. This is a koma. box. In Japanese, it's called a koma. So these are the lines that you see that kind of like just spice up a koma to make it look more more exciting. So that'll be the next lesson. And then after covering that, we'll start talking about screen tone, and we'll go about how to apply screen tone to your pages, as well as how to scratch designs into your screen tone to do things like clouds or like fading lines and things like that. This is some more screen tone stuff. So we got like rays of light coming from the side. You have these clouds. Another example of like of fading the tone. Then after that, we'll go into kakimoji. These are basically just the exciting text or like letters that you put onto different scenes to make it. In Japanese, these are all sounds. This is actually really hard for me when I was in school, and I'll go into that more in that actual episode, because in Japan, pretty much everything has a sound that you can write. So like, apparently the sound of this going through here, or the sound that I chose, I don't know if this is correct, was gashan. And I know you could do this in English too, it doesn't have to be in Japanese, but we'll go into just sort of how to do these particular like texts for your manga. And then we'll start trying to apply these lessons to actual frames, where here you have the kouka going along with a watermelon splattering on the ground. And then I had some extra exercises about like different textures, like a watermelon hitting the ground versus a bowling ball hitting the ground, you know, stuff like that. Let's see here. Then the next workshop after that, the workshop episode after that, continue on. This is more like kind of applying to actual scenes, how to make a sky this is with using both ink, black ink, screen tone, what you call it? Well, I'll go into this specifically when we actually get to that lesson. But using black ink, screen tone, and even white ink to make like a sky background and so forth. And then we'll take that stuff and we'll use this is the actual scene that I had started drawing that never finished, with characters in motion, and we'll use all of those lessons about kouka and screen tone and everything to kind of finish up these pages to make them look nice and pretty. Might actually add some screen tone to these pages as well. And then we might go into a little bit about cross-hatching and different shading techniques. So this actually isn't something I drew. This was a handout from school. Maybe I drew one of these, I don't know. Yeah, I think I drew this side. I don't know. But yeah, I drew this side. Yeah, so they gave us a handout where they had this was a handout and this was the same thing but without any line work on it. And then they asked us to do the line work to practice the different shading techniques. And so basically you have like cross-hatching techniques to have like a backlit character, a side-lit character lit from below. And then this was the example of not doing cross-hatch, but doing what they call in Japanese beta, which is basically just strong black masses of color, masses of blackness, I guess. And then this is just another exercise of taking an actual photo and doing desan, which is like what you call it, a still life drawing with only ink. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if I would when we do it in the workshop. I don't know if I'll do this like this again, but we might pick a different photo. But it's just interesting to kind of see how to get to like train your eye to view things in real life and to figure out how you would convert that to like black and white and with ink. And this is very different than using like a ball pen where you have like shades of gray in your ink. This is purely black and white and using cross hatches and things like that to establish shading. And like looking back at this now, this really isn't really that good. So I could probably do better than this now. This is just another page that's unfinished. We may just skip this. I don't really think that there's a whole lot of action going on here. But I mean, and if I think I could use this to express some certain aspect of the stuff we went over in the past parts, I might use this then. But otherwise, we might skip it. Then after we get those basics, then we go into like the basics of flow of how you make a manga, starting with your idea, then making a plot, making a name, which is like your rough draft, and like just going down these steps here of what are the steps to making a manga. Then we might go into some of the basic story, basic elements of story that they taught me in school. And here we have a name. This is what I just mentioned, the rough draft. This is a 4-page manga that I had a name ready for, and I actually even like blew that up, and I started actually drawing the pages for it, but I never finished it. And so here we have 4 unfinished pages of manga, and so this would be a very good like workshop to kind of show you the process of actually converting it to actually your final pages, because as you can see, they're all in various stages of unfinishedness, so you can surmise from that you don't just take one page and work it to completion and then move on to the next page and then work it to completion and then move on to the next place. No, you're working on all of it at once, just in different phases. And so I could go through the phases. Like actually, if you look in reverse, you can kind of see like the first phase is the koma wari. That's the breaking of the lines and stuff. And then you have like the fukidashi. These are the speech bubbles. And I'm gonna stop translating these after a while because I want you guys to just learn the Japanese because it makes it a lot easier for me to always instead of trying to always search for the right word. And then after that you see that I have the start outlining the characters, but there's still no shading. There's no areas of black, no screen tone or anything, or kouka-san or anything like that. So like these are all unfinished, even this one, but they all have like different phases. So usually what you would do is you'd go through one at a time. But I'll go through more detailed on that when we get to that episode. Okay, so that's the basic plan for the continuation of the Manga Workshop series. I'm hoping that will be interesting to you. If that is content that you think you'd really want to see, then I'd encourage you to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, let me know in the comments if there's any other topics that you want me to cover, any other things that you're interested about, and I'll try to cover as much as I can. So, until next time, yoroshiku.